Hi, I'm Troy Caradonna. I caught at Duke University for 4 years, and I'm currently going into my 3rd year in the New York Yankee minor league organization. Today we're going to give you a brief overview on all the fundamentals of catching. Stances. Before we can do anything with receiving, blocking, throwing, we first have to master all 3 stances of catching. They're pretty simple. This is what they look like. First stance is signal stance. This is simply when you're going to be giving the signal to the pitcher. You're going to have your heels right under your backside, your glove hand draped over your left hand knee, standing upright with your chest, hand up close to yourself, and all you're going to do is give signals to the pitcher. It's going to look like this. The only thing that we have to be wary of in our signal stance is the first base coach and the third base coach. We don't want them picking up the signals. You've already blocked the third base coach by draping your glove over your left knee. With the first base coach, if you notice him looking in at any time in the game, all you have to do is rotate in with your right leg and then give your signal. From your signal stance, I encourage you to go out and build a balance beam. This right here is just 2 old pieces of wood taped together, not even screwed together. I encourage you to try to use it for every single catching drill that you do. Here's the reasons why. First of all, now for the throwing section. Before we start throwing, we all need to realize that we've all been given God-given ability. Some of us are quicker, some of us are slower, some of us have stronger arms, some of us have weak arms. What we have to do throwing is maximize our potential and our ability to get the quickest throw we can on the bag. Remember, throughout this section, an accurate throw is better than a quick throw that goes into center field. Before we start, I want you to see this tee right here. This is what we're going to work with the entire time. Now for throwing, we're going to start from the base up. There are 3 basic techniques that you can use for footwork throwing the ball to second. I'm going to show you all 3. The first is what we call a simple replacement. Basically, your right foot is going to replace with your left foot, right to here. The second technique that we have is called a jab step with your right foot. Wherever the location of the ball is, you're going to jab with that to that part of the plate. Inside pitch, jab, square shoulders. Down the middle, you're going to jab straight down the middle. And outside part of the plate to a right-hander, all you're going to do is either take a small jab step or simply pivot. The last technique is a technique that I use that I think is the best. Why? Because it creates muscle memory. Basically, what I use every single time, no matter where the pitch is, I'm in my blocking and throwing stance, I'm going to take a jab step to this X on the tee here, square my shoulders, and I'm in direct line with second base. I believe this is the best way. It takes all the guesswork out of catching and throwing the ball to second. All these other techniques, when you replace your feet, your momentum starts going toward third base, you lose ground to second. Same principle as fielding a ground ball. You field a ground ball, take a go hard, line up to first. When we field a ground ball, we don't replace our feet. It gets our momentum going away from the target, and we lose ground. Now, the problems that I see with the jab step are there's literally thousands of different combinations to what your mind and your body is going to do to get the ball to second base. For instance, curveball you can get here. Body goes in a different position than when the ball's over here. Body's in a different position. That's why I feel it is best to take one jab step right down the middle, get your body, shoulders, hips in line with second base, stay on the target. It's going to be an easy throw and you're going to get muscle memory. It's going to look like this. We have our tee here. It's going to be a perpendicular headed right down second base. Our toes are going to go on the white line. First step we're going to do is take our ankle, lead with our ankle, right to this. It's going to be about an 8-inch jab step. Then, because we led with our ankle, our shoulders and our hips are going to be right down this target line, right to second base. This is going to be muscle memory every single time, no matter where the pitch is at. Outside, right to there. Lead ankle, square the shoulders. Inside, same thing. Square the shoulders. This is going to improve your accuracy, and it's going to be muscle memory. Now, we've talked about where our feet are going to be in position. Here's why. We want our shoulder, our elbow, and our hips in a direct line with second base. Everything has to be in line to ensure an accurate throw on the bag. It's imperative that you check your footwork every time. This is going to make us come across our body with our feet at this angle. Vice versa, if we come at this angle, our arm is probably not going to catch up with our body because our front side is already open. The ball is going to tail to the right. It's imperative every time we get to this position right here. Elbow, shoulder, hips, foot squared off in a direct line to second. Now that we've talked about our lower half, we have to start talking about our upper half. First thing we have to realize is the grip on our ball is extremely important. Every time we throw to second base, we need a four-seam grip. All you're going to do is take the ball, you're going to go across the horseshoe. It's going to look like this. This is going to ensure that when the ball comes out of our hand, it's going to be rotating back, creating backspin. We'll get more carry. Now, one more thing we want to talk about with grip and with arm positioning. We always need our thumb on the bottom of the ball. Anytime you get your thumb to the side of the ball, it's going to put a ton of pressure on your elbow. You're going to get slider spin, or your arm's going to get in a weak position right here, put a ton of stress on your elbow. You're looking at surgery your junior or senior year in high school. Thumb on the bottom of the ball, stay behind the baseball. Now we have to talk about our arm position. What I like to do is take a 90-degree angle right here with our body. Now split that 90-degree angle, find your 45. It's going to be about right here. Or from this angle, about right here. We want the 45-degree angle for two reasons. First of all, it's a little bit shorter. This, bringing the ball back here, takes time. Secondly, if the ball is all the way back here, our arm is going to have to work to catch up with our body in front. At the 45-degree angle, right out in front, we don't have to work to catch up. Remember, you get velocity from here to here. Scientific studies have shown velocity comes in the last part of your throw. We want to be as short as possible, 45-degree angle, direct line with second base, and down. My buddy Mike here is going to demonstrate something that I found out over the years playing baseball. He's going to get into two positions. First position, he's going to have his lead arm, his left arm, down, dangling right here. Second position, he's going to tuck his lead arm to get to this position. All right, now Mike is going to get into his throwing position and leave his arm down. Square up to me, right to here now. 2 fingers. I'm holding him back with 2 fingers. Push as hard as you can. Down. He's pretty weak that way. Now, he's going to tuck his front side to get to this position. 2 fingers. He's much, much stronger in the position where his arm is tucked. So that tells us no matter what throw you're making, whether it's catcher, infield, outfield, pitcher, it's imperative we get a good tuck downward with the front side. Thanks, Mike.
No problem.
Now, with that being said, we've established the fact everything's in line with second. We got a 45-degree angle so our arm can catch up out front. The ball is going to be turned away from our body. We're going to tuck with the front side. Now, we have to remember this. The tuck is always downwards. If you tuck and you rotate to the left, look at my arm angle. Good position, rotate to the left. All of a sudden, I'm cutting the ball off, which is going to make my ball spin to the right. If any of you guys have throws that do this, that could be a reason why. Or you're going to cut your throw off, and it's going to go low and left. Now, if I don't have any front side involved, still going to be in a good position. Now I'm just going to rotate. Now look where my arm is. The ball's definitely going to spin off to the right, and most likely your throw is going to end up in center or right field. But if I tuck my arm directly down, look where my arm goes. Haven't moved my arm at all. It's in a direct plane with second base. It's going to get you good backspin, good flight of the ball, downward plane, ball should end up on the bag every time.